See? It was boring after all, right? That's why I said it would be a waste of time.
No, that's not true. It was a very meaningful story.
Senpai forces a smile and tries to diffuse the situation.
But it was a little surprising because I had thought of you as an easygoing person.
Well, I basically am a pretty easygoing person. It's my personal philosophy to enjoy the present as much as possible. People are happier enjoying what is to come rather than being concerned about what happened before, right? Well, actually, that was an opinion I'd inherited from Arihiko.
Enjoy what is to come? That sounds nice.
But futile. Senpai sips her tea with a very gentle smile. I follow Senpai's example and place my lips on the cup. Fucking hell, Tono. With a slurp, the bitter tea washes down my throat with just a hint of sweetness. I walk along a different path than the one I usually take. Passing through the unfamiliar streets, I slowly approach the Tono mansion. Oops. The surroundings are not completely unfamiliar. After all, I had lived here until I was 9 years old, 8 years ago. This is not the first time I have taken this path back to the mansion. My feelings are a little complex. The path home is nostalgic yet fresh. Up until just now, I had not looked forward to returning to the Tono household. Now, it doesn't seem so bad. The house I lived in until I was 9 years old. Right now, my sister Akiha is in that utterly un-Japanese Western-style mansion. Tono Makihisa, my old man who hated me, and the master of the Tono household, died a few days ago. My mother died from illness after Akiha was born, so the Tonos had dwindled down to me and my sister. Well, you know what you have to do, Tono. Make more Tonos. Ah, God, I know that's gonna sound creepy, but she isn't his actual sister, so it's not quite as creepy. Being the eldest son, you would think I would stand to become the Tono heir, but I have no such privilege. To become the Tono heir means being bound by a strict upbringing. I have lost count of the number of times my father scolded me over my dislike of not being able to live freely. That is when I got involved in that accident, and my body became weakened. My father saw it as a good opportunity to get rid of me. His reasoning was something along the lines of, someone who could die at any moment can't become the heir, even if he is the oldest son. The eldest son. Sadly for my father, I betrayed his expectations by making a recovery, but my sister Akiha was already deemed to become the heir of the Tono household. And so I've heard that Akiha, who was already being raised harshly in order to become a proper daughter of the Tono household, received an even harsher upbringing since then. That was a long time ago. I played together with Akiha in the mansion back before the accident. After that, I never saw her again. The life in the mansion I abandoned 8 years ago. Those 8 years were long, and my memories of that time have largely faded. But, in spite of that, there is one thing that even now continues to burn strongly within my heart, and that is... Alright, we're about to make a choice, guys. You probably want to save here. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so... About my my little sister Akiha, or about the cheerful girl. And... Well, we don't know who the fuck the cheerful girl is yet. And, the guide is telling me I should go with the first choice anyway, so... Let's go ahead and choose that one. Apparently, Akiha tried to visit me a few times when I was first entrusted to the Armos. Unfortunately, we were never able to meet because I had to go to the hospital every day. We completely lost contact after Akiha went to a boarding school. Unlike Akiha, I'm isolated from the main family. That's why I can live freely like this. My high school is just an average high school, and our chance of contact was pretty much zero. My old man died, and I received word telling me to come back. To be blunt, I had no intention whatsoever of returning to the Tono house. But Akiha is at that house. So I must go. When we were children, Akiha was an obedient child, always looking frightened, as if she were constantly enduring something. She would always follow close behind, her footsteps pattering behind me. I wasn't sure if that was what that word was for a minute. She was frail, and her long black hair and fancy Western clothes made her resemble a French doll. I am worried about her living all alone in that big mansion, with the old man gone. But more than anything, I feel guilty after pushing all the Tono family responsibilities on her and selfishly living a free life by myself. Perhaps my acceptance to return to the mansion is like my apology to Akiha. The Tono mansion is unnecessarily big. Surrounded by iron railings, you could say the entire lot is abnormally expansive. And it's probably expensive too, but, being so large that a whole elementary school could fit inside. The garden, surrounded by trees, is more like a forest. The mansion is at the heart of that forest, and there are a few other buildings separated from it. I didn't think anything of it when I was a child, but now that I have lived in an ordinary household for 8 years, the excessive size feels almost criminal. The gates aren't locked. I push them open and head towards the mansion doors. They tower oppressively, bearing down on any visitors. Beside the iron double doors is an unmatching doorbell. Alright. Shaking off my nervousness, I press it. There isn't any affectionate ding-dong chime from the doorbell. The oppressive silence continues for a few seconds. Then, the sound of pattering footsteps behind the door indicates someone's presence. "We have been waiting for you." The door opens with a creak. Inside lay the lobby I remembered, and a young girl in an apron. "Thank goodness. You're so late I was beginning to worry that you had gotten lost. I was thinking about going out to meet you if you hadn't arrived by sunset." The girl in the anachronistic apron smiles warmly. No, that's, I'm so taken aback by her outdated mode of dress that I can't even form a proper sentence. Perhaps attributing my hesitance to distrust, the girl tilts her head a little. "You're Shiki-sama, aren't you?" Yeah, but you don't have to call me Sama." "You are, right? Oh, please don't scare me like that. I was beginning to think I had made another mistake back there." The girl's mannerisms are like those of a mother scolding her child. But in spite of that, there's a smile on her face, and it doesn't break the warm feeling about her. She wears an apron over a kimono. She comes to greet guests and addresses someone like me with Sama. This must mean that she's... Oh my god, she's a maid! You are one of the maid... Are you one of the maids here by any chance? The girl answers my question with nothing but a smile. "Come, you must be tired. Please do come in. Akiha-sama is waiting for you in the sitting room." The girl quickly crosses the lobby and heads towards the sitting room. Turning back as if she just remembered something, she makes a bow, a full smile on her face. "Welcome home, Shiki-sama." Her greeting is accompanied by her flower-like smile. I can't think of any reply, so I just follow her hesitatingly. Guided by the girl, I head to the sitting room. It's as if I'm seeing it for the first time. I don't know if I've forgotten about it in the last 8 years, or if they had just refurbished it since then. Either way, it feels like someone else's house now, and it's unsettling. As I'm looking around the sitting room, the maid in the apron lowers her head in a quick bow. "I've brought Shiki-sama with me." "Well done. You may return to the kitchen, Kohaku." "Thank you." It seems the maid's name is Kohaku. Kohaku-san gives a small bow, as if to say farewell, and leaves the sitting room. This leaves me and 2 girls I don't recognize. It has been a long time, Nissan, says the girl with the long black hair and sharp eyes. All my thought processes stop at once. My mind goes blank and I can't think of any words of greeting. All I can do is nod with a, yeah. I don't think it can be helped. This Akiha that I had not seen in 8 years is not the Akiha I remember. She's completely transformed into a proper young lady of a noble family. Nissan? The black-haired girl tilts her head slightly. Pathetically, all I can say are dumb-sounding things. My mind is turning in somersaults as I try to recognize the girl before me as Akiha, but it seems like Akiha already recognizes me as her brother. You do not look well. Would you like to rest before we talk? Akiha throws a sharp glance in my direction. Is it just my imagination that she looks like she's in a bad mood? No, I'm alright. I was just surprised at how much you've changed, Akiha. Tsundere mode activated. People do change over the course of 8 years, Nissan. We are at an age of constant change, or did you think we would remain as we were forever? Do not underestimate my smugness. What is this? I can feel the thorns in Akiha's words. No, you've definitely changed, Akiha. You've become more beautiful than before. That isn't flattery. It's how I actually feel, or it's how I really feel. Whatever. Same thing. And indeed. Yes. But you, on the other hand, have not changed much at all. Akiha answers coldly, her eyes closed. Well, I came prepared for something like this. It is as I had thought. It seems Akiha does not think well of me. I don't say. If you are feeling well, let us finish our conversation. You have yet to hear the details about why you were called back here, Nissan? I've heard nothing more than a sudden come back to the mansion, though I found that the old man passed away on the papers. If the head of a major company dies, it definitely makes it on the financial papers. Word of Tono Makihisa's death reached his son, Tono Shiki, via the newspaper after the funeral. Even though his relatives hadn't told him, this disinherited son could pick up news of his father's death merely by buying a 100-yen newspaper. It might be cynical of me to say so, but the world certainly has become a convenient place. I am sorry. It was my fault that you did not get the news about father. Akiha quietly lowers her head. It's alright. Either way, it's not like he would come back from the dead if I went. It's not something you should be worried about. I am sorry. It is somewhat comforting to hear you say that. Akiha's face is serious, but this is not a topic I care much about. A funeral is a ceremony for those who cannot let go of their feelings for the deceased to achieve such detachment. For someone like me, who cut off such feelings a long time ago, there's no need. Calling you back here was my idea. It would be odd for the eldest son of the Tonos to be entrusted to the Arimas forever. Now that father has passed away, the only Tonos by blood are you and I, Nissan. I do not know what father was thinking when he entrusted you to the Arimas, but he's no longer with us, so there's no longer any need for you to live with them. That is why I had you come back here. That's all well and good, but I'm quite surprised you were able to get our relatives to agree to this. Wasn't it they who came up with the idea of leaving me with the Arimas in the first place? That may be so, but now I am the head of the Tono family. I declined every one of the proposals from our relatives. I would like you to continue living here, Nissan, but this is a place with rules. You will avoid living the over-casual lifestyle you've been leading up until now. Haha, I'm afraid that's not going to happen, Akiha. There's no way I can go back to being some well-mannered gentleman now. Not that I want to. I will not ask more of you, but do try to, or are you saying you are unable to do what I already have? Akiha shoots me a cold look. It feels like she's hitting me with her grudge against me for leaving her here for the last 8 years. Alright, I get it. I'll try my best. Akiha just stares at me, as if she doesn't quite believe me. You do not need to try, as long as you get the results. Her pose is dignified, her words merciless. Let's get back to the topic. Right now, you and I are the only ones living here. I do not care for having too many people around, so I cleared everyone out. Hold on a second, Akiha. You cleared everyone out? You wouldn't want to run into one of our relatives in the mansion, would you, Nissan? I have put off most of the servants, but there are enough for just you and I, so there are no problems. Wait, no problems? You're going to get attacked at our family meeting if you do something like that. Oh, please be quiet. Rather than have the mansion overflowing with people, wouldn't you feel more relaxed just the two of us here? With just the two of us? Urgh! Well, it's true that I would feel relaxed, but you've had only just become the... fuck, that's cheeky. But you've just become the head of the family, Akiha. If you go around abusing your powers like some kind of dictator, our relatives are not going to keep quiet. Even the old man didn't go against their opinions. Indeed. That's why Father entrusted you to the Arimas. I, on the other hand, have despised them ever since I was a child. I am not going to put up with their whining any longer. Not going to put up with... Look, Akiha.
Enough! Just listen. You don't have to worry about me. Please, just worry about your own life from now on, Nissan. I can see it's going to be difficult for you in many ways.
Akiha says sullenly, looking away a little.
Now then, if there's anything you don't understand, ask her, Hisue.
She looks at a girl standing by her side. The girl called Hisue bows expressionlessly.
This is Hisue. She will be your personal maid from now on.
Oh yeah! Is that acceptable with you? It's more than acceptable with me, Akiha. Hold on. Personal maid? You mean...
In other words, she's your servant.
Akiha declares, as if it were obvious. I can't believe it. Fitting with the Western style of the house, the girl in the maid outfit stands there, as if it's natural to do so. Hold on. I'm not a kid, you know. I don't need a servant. I can take care of myself.
Would that include the cooking and the laundry?
Urgh! Akiha is pretty sharp at pointing these things out.
At any rate, now that you have returned to this house, you will obey my directions. I don't know how you lived at the Arima house, but you're living at the Tono house now. Please accept everything given to you.
Urgh! I can't say anything, and I drift my eyes towards Hisue. As expected, she simply looks back at me expressionlessly like a doll.
Well then, Hisue, please show Nissan to his room.
Yes, my lady. Hisue approaches me with a shadow-like lack of presence.
I will guide you to your room, Shiki-sama.
Hisue heads towards the lobby. Sighing, I head off towards the lobby as well. We enter the lobby. This mansion is split into east and west wings, with the lobby in the middle. The lobby is like the body of a bird whose wings are the halls extending diagonally to the east and west. Each wing is about the size of a small hospital. I remember the house is constructed symmetrically, so both the east and west wings have the same floor plan.
Your room is this way, Shiki-sama.
Hisue climbs up a flight of stairs. It seems like my room is on the second floor. Come to think of it, the servant's room should be on the first floor of the west wing, so that's probably where Hisue and Kohaku-san's rooms are. Outside, the sun is already set. The girl in the maid uniform walks down the long, dimly lit hallway without a word. It kind of feels like a wonderland. Without thinking, I let my thoughts slip out.
Did you say something, Shiki-sama?
Hisui stops and looks back at me. No, I'm just talking to myself. Don't worry about it. Whatever. After staring at me, Hisui bows and starts walking again. I guess this is what they call being at a loss for words. The room Hisui led me to is not one made for a mere high school student to live in. Is this my room?
Yes. If you're displeased with it, I can arrange a different one for you.
No, there's no way I could be displeased with it. It's just a little... No, it's really too fancy for me.
Shiki-sama?
It's fine. I'll gladly use this room.
Yes. This room has not been touched since 8 years ago, so I do not believe you will find anything unsatisfactory with it.
What? There's something a little odd about the way Hisui said that. It's as if she were implying this was once my room. Hey, is this by any chance my old room?
That is what I have been told. Am I mistaken?
Hisui inclines her head to the side slightly. I feel relieved. It seems this girl can express emotion after all. I never would have guessed. Well, it might be now that you mention it. I do remember it faintly, so it must be so. I can't feel any sense of familiarity about this place at all, but I guess that's what it's like after you leave a place for 8 years. I can't get settled here, though. I was living in a 6.5 mat-sized room until this morning. It's like I'm staying in some high-class hotel.
I understand how you feel, but please try to get used to it. From today onwards, you are the eldest son of the Tono house, Shiki-sama.
You're right. I've got to do my best so I at least look like it on the outside. With a thump, I drop my bag on the table and stretch my back. I've been feeling a little stressed out with everything that's happened so far, but I guess I've got no choice but to adjust from today onwards.
Shiki-sama, all of your luggage has been brought here. Is there anything more you require?
No, not really. Why do you ask?
There was very little delivered. Is there anything you need? I can have it prepared, so please do not hesitate to ask.
I see. No, I don't need anything more for now. I didn't have much luggage to begin with. My luggage is just this bag, these glasses, and the textbooks in my bag, and that white ribbon with an unidentified owner. That's all. Anyways, you don't have to worry about the luggage. This fancy room is more than enough for me.
I understand. Well then, I shall come to call you in an hour's time.
An hour? For dinner, you mean?
Yes. Please relax until then.
As expected, Hisui says everything with an expressionless face. But even if she tells me to relax, how am I supposed to do that here? The clock says it's 6 o'clock. Usually, I'd be watching TV in the sitting room around this time, but I'm having serious doubts as to whether there's any such thing in this mansion. Hisui, I know it's kind of a trivial thing to ask about, but is there a television in this mansion?
A television?
Hisui's eyes narrow slightly. I know I'm the one who asked, but it really is a stupid question. I feel there's something wrong with asking about the presence of a TV in a luxurious mansion like this. Of course there's a TV, you idiot! Hisui makes a rare troubled face and stares off into space.
There is no television in the sitting room. Some of the visitors did make use of one, but when they departed, they packed it with their luggage and took it back with them, so I do not believe there are any remaining.
Hold on. How is there no TV in a fucking expensive-ass mansion? What the hell? Visitors? Like who? For how long?
Relatives.
The eldest son of Kugamine-sama from a branch of the family, Tauzaki-sama's third daughter and her fiancé, and Kishima-sama's eldest son came to stay for close to 3 years. 3 years, huh? Hisui, that's what you called freeloaders, not visitors. Hisui does not reply. No matter what kind of people these freeloaders were, it seems that servants can't say anything bad about them. Well, at any rate, it seems like those relatives had brought and taken back their own luggage with them. My old man hated the products of modern culture, thinking them all vulgar. Well, there's no modern technology in this house, I'm guessing then. There's no way he would ever watch a TV. Akiha, who had been educated by him for the last 8 years, would probably be the same. Well, it's not like I'll die without one. Hisui is silent. Like a perfect example for servants, Hisui says nothing unless she's being asked a direct question. This is, of course, kind of depressing for me. I want to make that expressionless face break into a smile somehow, but that seems impossible with just any half-hearted effort. Oh. Okay, is that... I think that's Shiki talking. Yeah, that's Shiki. Oh, there was a library on the first floor of the West Wing, wasn't there? Maybe I'll go find something to read when I have some free time. Hisui does not reply. She just stands there in the doorway. I can't even tell where she's looking. Hisui? Hisui doesn't say a word. Suddenly, she looks straight at me. I believe there is one in Nisan's room. Or Nason. Huh? I have no idea what she's talking about. There's one of what? A television. I remember seeing one in Nason's room. Hisui says, as if remembering something from many years ago. Hold on. Nason? Don't tell me you're talking about Kohaku-san. Yes. Right now, the only people working at this mansion are Nason and I. Now that she mentions it, they do look alike. You just notice now that they're twins? I just couldn't connect them as sisters because Kohaku-san is always smiling so warmly, and Hisui is always expressionless. But they look almost exactly the same. I see. Kohaku-san does look like the type of person who'd watch those variety shows. But I balk at going to Kohaku-san's room to tell her, let me watch her TV. Sorry, just forget I ever asked. After all, I'll be living here from now on, so I've got to follow the rules of the mansion. God knows what sort of cynical comment I'd be in for from Akiha if I started watching television. You watch TV? What a loser. It seems I'll be leading a scholarly student life fit for a member of the Tono family from now on. Alright. I'll be in my room until dinner, so just come and call me when it's time. You've got other things to do, don't you, Hisui? Hisui nods in assent and turns around. Silently opening the door, she leaves the room. How will you live without television, Tono? More importantly, how the fuck will you live without the internet? Dinner takes place with Akiha and I being face to face. I guess it's natural here, as Hisui and Kohaku-san do not eat with us, standing behind us to tend to our needs. I thought it would be natural if all four of us ate together, so you could say I'm caught off guard by this inexplicably tense dinner. I should mention at this point that I've totally forgotten anything related to table manners, so I'm going to make a complete ass out of myself. Well, I do remember little pieces, so it's not like I'm a complete amateur, but humans tend to pack away unused memories into the corners of their mind. The tension was actually quite thrilling, with every one of my movements causing Akiha to raise an eyebrow. When I think about how I'll have to go through this every day, though, it's really depressing. You just troll, Akiha. That's probably the best option. Finishing dinner, I return to my room. It's still only just past 8 at night. It's too early to sleep, so what should I do? God damn it, why do I have to make these decisions for you, Tono? It's totally not fair. Alright, so let's see. Might as well save here. Go to the sitting room and talk with Akiha. Stay in my room, or go watch TV in Kohaku-san's room. I've actually never tried this option. I'm very curious to see what would happen if we did that, though. That'd be pretty interesting. But maybe we should go and talk with Akiha just so we can smooth things over with her, because I don't think she really likes us right now. When I go to the sitting room, Akiha is relaxing there alone. There's no sign of Kohaku-san or Hisue. There are 2 teacups on the table, and Akiha is using one of them. Oh great, more fucking tea.
Oh? Do you drink tea after meals too, Nissan?
What's with this sudden change of attitude? Now she's all like, oh hey there, Shiki. No, nothing like that. I just thought I'd come to talk to you. My expression tells her I'll go away if I'm bothering you.
Then please sit down. Is tea alright for you?
Sure, I'll have anything that's nice. I actually prefer Japanese tea, but I'll keep that bit of selfishness to myself. Akiha takes the teapot and pours transparent red tea into another teacup. Thank you. I sit on the sofa and raise the teacup to my mouth. Before my eyes is the cool and collected Akiha, and it makes me a bit uneasy. I came to talk to her, but to be honest, I really don't know what to say now that she's in front of me.
Nissan, you are very quiet. Didn't you come to talk to me?
Akiha stares. The atmosphere is not so much of a younger sister, but more like that of an unfamiliar young lady. It's not one in which I can speak freely. Well, I was just wondering, what have you been doing for the past 8 years?
It goes without saying. With Nissan not around, Father's attention turns solely to me.
Akiha glares in complaint. It seems that the last 8 years are a taboo subject.
And what about you? What have you been doing for 8 years? I sent you many letters, but I didn't receive a single reply.
Uh-oh. Ack! I choke involuntarily. Certainly, Akiha sent many letters, but I never replied, because I'm an asshole. I was a poor correspondent, but at the bottom of my heart, I wanted to sever all links with the Tono Mansion. But that made me reluctant to write to Akiha. Oh, come on, Shiki. No excuses.
Well, don't worry about the letters. Even if you had answered, I'm sure Father would never have allowed the replies into the house. More importantly, how do you feel returning to the mansion for the first time in 8 years? It has changed very little, though there was some restoration work done.
In spite of Akiha's words, the mansion still feels completely unknown to me. 8 years ago, I was just a child. Even if I remember the mansion a little, it feels like I'm in someone else's house, and it's very unsettling.
Nissan?
No, I was just lost in thought for a moment. You say this mansion's changed very little, but it's pretty unsettling for me. Though the sitting room and the lobby are kind of familiar, I can't really remember the corridor, nor my room.
Really? I guess 8 years is a long time.
Oh, really? I would assume so, Akiha.
I guess that's it.
It's like half my life so far. I can't really expect to have clear memories. Well, it's been 8 years, so it doesn't feel right, but I think I'll get used to it. I'll be thankful if you overlook my poor manners for a while. Don't be ridiculous.
Please, don't be ridiculous. I can hardly look any more leniently upon Nissan's manners than I do already.
Buh! Ugh, that was close. I almost sprayed tea. I almost sprayed the tea I was drinking. Smooth, Shiki, really fucking smooth. At supper, Akiha's look sent me into a cold sweat after all I did was use the wrong knife. You must use the proper knife. I see. You were being lenient back then.
Yes, I am making concessions appropriate to your abilities. Nissan has been brought up by the Arimas, after all. As Aunt Keiko came from a branch family, a certain amount of laissez-faire was permitted, and you were spoiled, Nissan.
Unacceptable.
The result is the supper we had a while ago.
I'll bet Akia's gonna sign him up for some etiquette courses or something. She seems like the type that would do that. Well, it can't be helped, can it? We never really thought I'd be returning here.
Is that so? You almost sound like you didn't want to return, Nissan.
Don't be stupid, it's not like that. I may have had my doubts, but I couldn't just leave you alone here, could I? What kind of brother would I be then? Yes. That's the reason why I returned. If it weren't for Akiha, I would never have returned. Since I heard nothing for almost 8 years, I always wondered whether you were all right on your own. I came back to the mansion because I was worried about you. Looking a little off to the side, I put my honest feelings into words.
Well then, thank you.
But I guess I was just worrying over nothing. In the past 8 years, you seem to have grown strong. I'm relieved, but a little disappointed. No, a bit is saying too little. Since I only had the image of the calm Akiha back when she was small, the sharp Akiha right now seems like a different person.
Really? I'm sorry I did not meet Nissan's expectations.
Akiha's eyes are scary. Crap. I think I may have said too much again. Yeah.
Well then, Nissan, how was life at the Arima residence?
Akiha asks, still with a frightening expression. I feel like I'm under terrible pressure, even though I'm only talking to my younger sister.
Nissan, did you hear what I said?
I heard. Life at the Arimas, right? It was normal. There was no problems, or there was no real problems. It seems it was more suited for me living there, too.
That's not what I meant. How is your health? I've heard you collapsed a lot from your chronic anemia.
Yeah. I did for about a year after I left the hospital, but I'm okay now. I only have problems occasionally, about once a month. I'm certainly not frail enough to be worried about. Bluffing, I strike my chest with a scar. And then I start to bleed out. Akiha nods in serious assent.
But Nissan, you've also started wearing glasses. After going to the hospital, did your eyesight fail also?
I see. Akiha doesn't know I wear glasses, or why I wear them. I can't just explain the illness I can't just explain the lines along which things break, or that they don't appear when I wear these glasses. Well, it's nothing. My eyes became a little strange after the accident. But it's not like my eyesight's gone bad, so it's not really a serious problem.
Really? I was surprised when I saw you a while ago. I didn't know you had started wearing glasses, Nissan.
Really? You seemed pretty calm back then.
Of course. I was meeting you for the first time in 8 years. I couldn't let you see me acting strange.
Akiha's brow creases sullenly.
Akiha-sama, the bath is ready. What should I do? Really? Thank you, Kohaku. I'll go soon, so go ahead. Is that alright? After all, you're relaxing with Shiki-sama. Shiki-sama might run away, but the bath won't. Please relax a little longer. It's fine. We weren't talking about anything important anyways. Damn it.
Akiha stands and walks past Kohaku-san into the lobby. Kohaku-san follows Akiha. Something tells me Akiha's a little bit angry with us again. Not that that's surprising. Left alone in the sitting room, I finish the tea. Akiha and Kohaku-san seem to be heading to the bath, so I guess I'll go back to my room. Hang on. Aki and Kohaku-san aren't going to take a bath together, are they? No, I bet they are. Then maybe Kohaku-san would be washing her back? Of course, with another girl, that's no problem, but...
Well, you are free to imagine whatever you wish, Nissan, but...
Oh my god! Akiya returns with amazing timing.
Don't force Hisui to do stupid things. Unlike Kohaku, she doesn't really get jokes.
Akiya looks accusingly as if she sees my thoughts. Something tells me that's a typo. Whatever. I'm surprised. Maybe this mansion has some listening devices. What? Wait. What are you doing back here? Weren't you taking a bath with Kohaku-san?
I forgot to tell you something about the bath. Nissan, the large bedroom we used a long time ago isn't used anymore. Or the large bathroom. It would be too much for Hisui and Kohaku-san to take care of, so it has been closed up.
Large bathroom? Was there such a place? I splutter a bit. Unable to remember, I make a doubtful face. Akiya's brow is knit terribly.
The bath in the courtyard. You don't even remember that? Well, now that
she mentions it, I guess there was such a thing. But this is a European-style mansion. Isn't such a thing out of place?
Father half liked the Japanese-style architecture. That is why the detached building is Japanese-style as well. Anyway, if you want to have a bath, please use your own. The second bathroom behind the lobby is yours, Nissan.
The second bathroom. With that, Akiya leaves. Alright. With Akiya gone, there's no point in staying in the sitting room. I'll have a bath too, and return to my room. Oh, Shiki, you dense motherfucker. When I return to my room, my bed has been made. I guess Hisui did it when I was gone. I'm glad she did, but it's really more than I deserve. I scratch my cheek. Then...
Are you there, Shiki-sama?
I can hear Hisui's voice along with a knock at the door. Yeah, I'm here. Come in.
Excuse me. Good evening.
Thanks for making... fuck. Good evening. Thanks for making my bed, Hisui. God, if only this had voice acting, then I knew who the fuck is talking. Hisui quietly nods in acceptance. Urgh. Just as I thought. I'm not used to this. Is there anything else you want to tell me?
No, nothing from me, but Akiya-sama has instructed me to answer any questions you may have.
I see. There are many things I want to ask, but I'll probably get to know them as I continue to live here. Yeah. What I want to know right now, before I sleep, is it true that the curfew here is 7?
Yes. The main gate is locked at 7, and all the entrances to the mansion are to be locked at 8.
That's a strict as hell curfew.
It is also a rule that one must try not to go walking around in the mansion after 10.
Not even walking around in the mansion? Well, I've got no complaint with that, but isn't that kind of harsh? Akiya and I are children, so I don't think you have to go that far.
Indeed. It is a rule, however, so please abide by it. You are aware of the recent disturbances at night, are you not, Shiki-sama?
Yeah, the vampire thing Arihiko was talking about. Well, as long as something like that is happening, I guess it's better to be safe than sorry. What else? Oh, do you mind if I ask an off-topic question?
Yes. What is it?
I'd like to know what kind of work you and Kohaku-san do around here.
I am here to serve your needs, and my sister Kohaku is to serve the needs of Lady Akiya-sama. Or to serve the Lady Akiya-sama. In our spare time, we do the maintenance chores around the mansion. Is there anything more you would like to know?
To serve, so that's what it is after all. Well, no fucking shit. What do you think maids do? My shoulders suddenly feel heavier. It seemed completely natural to Akiha when she said it, but I'm nothing more than a normal high school student. I have no interest in having a girl close to my age serving me, at least for now. By serving me, you mean you're a personal servant? Yes. Please do not hesitate to give me any instructions. Any instructions, huh? Well, I get it. Going by how Akiha was talking about you, it doesn't seem like I can dismiss you, so I'll just obediently let you serve me. Is there anything in particular you would like? Oh my god. Nothing in particular, but could you stop calling me Shiki-sama? To be honest, I get chills down my back when I hear it. But Shiki-sama, you are my master. I always get these strong sexual vibes whenever she talks like this. I don't think you guys can blame me. That's what I'm saying I hate. I've been living a normal life up until yesterday. I have no desire to start living a life where a girl my age addresses me with Sama. I see. Hisue's response was less than enthusiastic. Just call me Shiki, and in exchange, I'll call you Hisue. Let's do away with the formalities and be more casual with each other. Shiki, you should know better. She doesn't know how to do that. Still expressionless, Hisue lowers her eyebrows as if she's being troubled. But you are my employer. It's not like I'm hiring you. You're the one doing the things I can't, so you're the great one. I see. Hisue gives another unenthusiastic reply. It looks like I won't be able to talk her into it in just one day. Anyhow, that's how it is. Don't be so formal towards me. I'll be grateful if you tell me, if you told me, or goddammit, if you tell that to your sister Kohaku-san too. Very well. As you say, Shiki-sama. Expressionless, Hisue bows her head. She completely failed to understand. I will be leaving now. Please rest for tonight. Bowing, Hisue puts her hand on the doorknob. Oh, I forgot to ask something. Hold on for a second. Running towards the door, I put my hand on Hisue's shoulder before she leaves. Sexual harassment! And in an instant, Hisue's arm pushes me away with an incredible momentum. With a whack, she slaps my hand away and leaps back. It's so sudden that that's the only thing I can say. Hisue is expressionless, but she glares at me fiercely. Did I just do something wrong? I am very sorry. Hisue's voice sounds very nervous. I am not used to being touched. Please forgive me. Hisue's shoulders are faintly trembling. I feel like I just did something really terrible. Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize without thinking. I don't understand why myself. I just feel sorry for Hisue, and I lower my head. Hisue says nothing. I get the feeling her stare is calm again. You have nothing to apologize for, Shiki-sama. I am the one to blame. No, well, maybe, but I scratch my head. Hisue stares at me, pausing only to blink for a second. What is it that you wanted to ask me, Shiki-sama? That's right. I stopped Hisue because I wanted to ask her something. Oh, I wanted to ask about Akiha. Doesn't she go to a boarding school? That was only during middle school, Shiki-sama. From this year onwards, Akiha has special permission to attend school from home. You mean she goes to school from here? Yes, but it is uncommon for her to come back home before dusk like today. Akiha-sama has practice up until dinner, so she is always home before 7. Practice? Practice what? Today is Thursday, so she would have had violin practice.
Usually, she is able to return before dinner on weekdays. So if you have anything to say to Akiha-sama, please let Ne-san know after dinner.
Or, you could just ask her directly. Apparently you have to go through somebody to talk to fucking Akiha because she doesn't want to have anything to do with you. Hisui bows to say goodbye and then leaves the room. Violin practice? What on earth is that? She's not some upper-class lady or anything, so why should she have to do something as bothersome as... Oh wait, she is an upper-class lady. Oh god, Tono. What are we gonna do with you?
Yes. Come to think of it, my sister, Tono Akiha, is a natural-born upper-class lady.
But you are not. Or at least upper-class gentleman, I mean. But you might be a lady, I'm not sure about that. In my memories, she was always the obedient, ever uneasy sister, constantly following me around. As a child, she was always quiet, never having even the courage to express her own desires. She was a frail girl who would always live in fear of a scolding from our father. Yeah, people really do change after 8 years. After 8 years, I've become the me I am now. Aki has become the person she is right now too. 8 years is a long time. We get it, Tono. 8 years is a pretty damn long time. It's half of our lives up until now, and I believe you've said that before too. I was absent from this mansion during that vital period where a child becomes an adult. I'm sorry, Akiha. I think things would have been better if I had been with her during those 8 years. I unknowingly mumble an apology.
Left by myself, I lie on my bed. This house from 8 years ago. My blood relative from 8 years ago. It feels a little like they belong to someone else. I wonder what's going to happen to me now. Grumbling to no one in particular, I fall asleep.
Oh, here we go again. Ow! I hear the wave-like sound of something's voice. Ow! Something is howling. It's too sharp and high-pitched to be a stray dog. It's a werewolf. Oh! It echoes in my eardrums. Is it howling at the moon? Bark at the moon. Ow! This doesn't feel right. The beastly howling is beginning to give me a headache. Ow! It doesn't stop. Ow! 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 Arg, just shut up already. I wake up. I can hear the sound of a dog barking outside the window. The clock indicates that it's just past 11. This is more than just a neighborhood nuisance. Yeah, I'll say. Damn, I can't sleep like this. Get off my property, dog, before I shoot you. The dog's howling comes from somewhere near the mansion's fence. It doesn't seem like I can go back to sleep at this rate. Even Akiha and the others wouldn't be able to sleep with a racket like this. Well, I wouldn't put that past them, Shiki. Since I'm the only man in the house, I guess I've got no choice but to go investigate. I think it's coming from the right side of the mansion. I open the curtains and check what's happening outside. And, outside my room is a large tree. On one of the branches is perched a blue crow. In the dark night, I can see nothing but black, and yet it's quite clear to me that the crow is blue. I've never seen or even heard of a blue crow before. It glares at me. It feels like the eyes of the crow are staring at me, like soulless mechanical lenses. Caw! After a yawn-like cry, it noiselessly flies off. What was that? I can feel a faint chill on my back. The howling of the dogs grows louder. Ow! 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 God damn it! It's really starting to get on my nerves. Not only is it noisy, but hearing it causes my heart to start pounding. I have an almost instinctual distaste for it. Shut up! I change out of my pajamas into my uniform and leave the room. Put the dog out of its misery, Shiki. Ow! The howling echoes through the night. That sound is definitely coming from the right-hand side of the mansion. For some reason, my throat feels dry. The high walls stretch their way around the mansion. Clearing my throat, I head towards where the dogs must be gathered. Great fucking idea, once again. I arrive at where the howling originates. Huh? Howl! The howling doesn't stop, but there are no signs of any dogs. All there is a person. Under the light from the streetlight that carves apart the darkness stands a man in a dark coat. The howling is coming from right beside him, but there are no dogs to be seen anywhere. The man in the coat is pretty tall. He has a strongly built body and his back is facing me. My throat is so dry. Ow! The voice of the dog resounds in my ears. The night air coils itself around my skin. For no apparent reason, I have difficulty breathing and moving, as if I'm at the bottom of the sea. Caw! A cry overhead. With a loud flapping of its wings, the blue crow lands onto the man's shoulder. Then, suddenly, the crow vanishes. Can it be an illusion? It looked like the crow disappeared into his black coat. The man in the black coat turns around. Under the white streetlight, he's just a shadow. Or he's just like a shadow. A black lump. In the middle of that lump, only the weapon-like eyes shine out, burning with a fiery intelligence. I can't breathe, but fortunately, those eyes seem like they're not even looking at me. Not here after all. The man in the black coat leaves. When I can no longer see him, I'm finally able to breathe properly again. I managed to take a few breaths. I realized the dog's howling has ceased. I return to my room. There's no sign of Akiha or the others being awake. I guess I'm the only one who couldn't stand the dog's howling. Gah! What's happening? My head still hurts. Huh? Why am I trembling? Looking down, my fingers are trembling. My entire body is shaking, and my back feels very cold. It's almost like... yes. It's like someone ripped out my spine and replaced it with ice. I feel dizzy. Is it just the unusual anemia? I get the feeling of falling towards the floor. On the way, I see something unpleasant. What? Even though I'm wearing my glasses, I can still see the lines. Ugh! I hadn't seen them at all for a long time, so my reaction is magnified. I feel sick. With the dizziness from my anemia, I feel like I'm about to throw up the contents of my stomach. What's going on? I don't understand. Only that as long as my eyes are open, scribbles fly everywhere across my vision. It's a bad dream. Somehow, I managed to collapse into bed. Yes, I should sleep. That's the easiest way to deny what I'm seeing. My body doesn't move as I want it to. All I should do is lie here and fall fast asleep, like a corpse.